Okay, so just in a way of some introduction to what's going on here. I wound up with around 100 peppers. I think what I'm going to do, close the table off a little bit, and then I'll show you what's involved really, just prepping the peppers for use in the pickle. Okay, so one good thing about picking peppers at the end of the season, some of them are going to be green, some of them are going to be kind of yellow. You might even, in my particular case, because these are orange peppers, some of them are going to be light orange and some are going to be dark orange, and you're getting all kinds of, like there's a very dark orange color right there, and there's a very light green over here. They start off as a much darker green, and so you will get a, I doubt you can see that, but you will start, when you are putting it together, you'll have a nice little assortment, even though they're all the same type of pepper. So what I have the peppers here. I have a nice bowl to put the rings, because I'm making rings, that's what I'm doing. A plate to work on, a knife to cut away any blemishes, and then a little garbage bowl here. So, and over here, I have what turned out to be a gigantic time saver. This is what my wife had purchased on an online shopping channel, and it just makes very quick work of making rings. So I'm just going to cut the end off as close as I can to the stem. Actually, I'm going to cut a little bit more. And even though these aren't really hot, constant exposure isn't fantastic. All right, so then just put the pepper in the utensil, and there you go. Now this one didn't come out as well as I thought it would. A little bit funny. It's a little bit funny. Those peppers are mine. When they're ripe, then they taste fine. You can tell I made that up as I went along, because it took me too long to say that last part. And I think I'm getting close to as much as I need. So I actually decided to do six 250 milliliter jars of the peppers. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them into my big pot full of boiling water, and I'm going to let them sit in there for 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to set the timer for 15 minutes. And then once we get to that point, I'll take them out. I'll start doing stuff over here. I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, timer went off. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to stop the water from boiling, let the jar stay in there, and I'm going to start preparing the, I guess it's a brine, kind of, except it has a very tiny amount of salt. So what goes into this liquid, the fluid that goes around the peppers, is vinegar, water, sugar, and salt. So for every 500 milliliter jar, you have 3/4 of a cup of vinegar. Now I have 3 500 milliliter jars worth of stuff going on here. So I'm just going to pour out 3 sets of 3/4, which is 2 1/4, but I don't really have that on my measuring cup. So I'm just going to pour this in here. That's 1. That's good for 2 of the jars that I have, because there are only 250 milliliter bottles instead of 500. That's 2. And that is 3. And of course, the vinegar has to be 5% acetic acid by volume, and this is, so that's fantastic. Couldn't be better. Let's get that out of the way. I thought I was going to use that. And so be convenient having a fridge in your kitchen. And now I'm going to do the same thing with water. 3/4 of a cup. Might as well get this going. 3/4 3/4 of a cup. And 3/4 of a cup. Now, the sugar is 1 cup for every 500 milliliter jar. So there's 3 of those. So I'm going to get not quite. So there's 1. 2. 3. Now that was a little bit less each time, so to show you how scientific this is, I'm going to put in a little bit more. There we go. And kosher salt or any sea salt that doesn't have iodine in it or whatever, you know, they're anti-caking agents, don't use that. And for every 500 milliliter jar, it takes a half a teaspoon of salt. So I don't want to put in more than that anyway, but it's important to put that in there because it, 2 and 3. One of the things it does is it'll keep the peppers, or whatever vegetable you're doing actually, but it'll keep the peppers crispy, is really what it does, through reverse osmosis, or some such thing, or something else that sounds very scientific. And also, as a bonus, it will help to kill the bacteria, the bad bacteria that might possibly be in the jar. Now that's the one thing I've got, even as an amateur, because I'm certainly not a professional. Everything I know is from all the reading that I've done, and I've been doing this for many years now, all kinds of different things. And I've never had an issue. So that's really all that I can go by here. Actually, maybe I'll just... I am very indecisive, as you could probably tell. Okay, so you could probably not see what I'm doing, but all I'm really doing is I'm just picking up handfuls, and I'm not being organized. I don't really care about that, but I want to make sure I get lots in there, because they will float around otherwise. Okay, so that's what it looks like at this point, and I'm just going to fill them all up like that. Hey fella with a million smackers and nervous indigestion. Hey fella eating milk and crackers, I'll ask you one question. You silly so-and-so with all your dough, are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? Well, if other people do, so can you. Have a bit of fun, son, have a bit of fun. Okay, so just while it's still kind of in a very gentle boil, I'm going to put it right into the water there, so I want to make sure I've got that good and tight. And these are all new rings and covers. The most fun is when they all start to pop, last night when that all started happening, it was really fun. I could hear them clicking and clanging. Beautiful. Because you know that you have succeeded in your quest to cause to form a vacuum inside, and that's exactly what you want. Okay. Okay, so it is boiling now, and so I'm going to put them in one by one. The jars are sticky, but that's fine. They won't be sticky for long. Drop them in ever so gently. All right. Another 15 minutes, and I'll pull them out, and I'll return. Okay. Timer's gone off. It's been 15 minutes, and I am going to pull these out. Here they are. All 6 jars. I'm not going to try to pick one up just like that, but I am going to try to pick one up just like this. Oh no! Don't let it drop! Don't let it drop! And that's what it looks like. I'll go with that a little bit. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, so that's it actually. So you can see it's not a big process. It doesn't really take very long. If you have peppers that you picked, especially if they're not ripe and you're wondering, do I just throw these away? No, don't throw them away. Because because even unripe peppers have some nice heat and you want to make use of them. Like I said, they don't have a lot of flavor until they ripen. That's when the flavor really develops. But when you do something like this, and then you leave it for about a month, 4 weeks, a month, and then you open one up, and it doesn't matter if the pepper itself had flavor, now it does. And then you could use it in all kinds of things. It's just completely open to your imagination. Once you open one, because they should be shelf stable. The vinegar, the salt, the sugar, all work together. It's a good, just keep the proportions exactly the same. You know, you could work them up or bring them down depending upon the size of the jars or the amount that you're going to be making. But yeah, should be shelf stable. And then once you open it up, then you put it in the fridge and that's it. Keep it in a cool place. Basement, generally speaking, I think is probably the best place. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll give this a try. Yeah, it's delicious. Really it is. So that's it. Thank you very much.